So we're here real time, just about 10 minutes or so. Ebony Bridges now 7-1 with 3 KOs, scored a unanimous decision 77-76 victory over Amelie's Gangloff France. She is now 5-3 with 2 KOs. I'm going to go ahead and say it. I got my colleague Big J on the line. I think she lost that fight. I had it. Ebony Bridges winning rounds 1-3, 1, 2, and 3. Somewhere in rounds 3 or 4, she got injured, but rounds 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, I gave to Gangloff. Now, Ebony Bridges, she's a very, very tough female fighter, heavy-handed for a female fighter. You can tell she's one of those fighters that she didn't fight all of her life. As you know, she was a teacher and bodybuilder, model, and now she's in boxing. The problem I have is for a female fighter like that who we know has a lot of marketability with her, it just looks like, damn, they needed her to win. But taking a look at Twitter, just, really quickly, the damage has already been done because, you know, consensus is she lost that fight. So, Big J, what did you think of the fight? And how many rounds did you give Ebony Bridges? And, tell me about your thoughts on the fight.
Yeah, g'day, mate. How you going? Hope everything's all right over there. Firstly, bullshit decision. Ebony lost that fight. The French girl, Gangloff, won it 5 rounds 3. I'm like you. I gave 1, 2, 3 to Bridges, and the French girl just queen sleep the rest because by round 4, even the commentator says Ebony was gassed.
Yeah, she was.
She looked buggered. Yeah, she kept going. I mean, Ebony's got guts. She won't quit. She can take a punch. I mean, she's got that stalker walk down style where she'll take 10 shots to get her one in, similar to Jeff Horn. She's got that Jeff Horn, fighter about. She's a puncher. She's not a boxer. She's not a fighter, and she's not a brawler. She's a puncher. She's just got that one big looping right hand, and that's all she's got. So, but yeah, she clearly lost that fight, and
Could it
I mean,
could it be some burnout?
as
She fought Carol Earl. That was in
possibly, yeah,
March the 13th. Shannon Courtenay a month later on April the 10th. Then she fought Beck Connolly just a month ago, less than a month ago, in August of 2021. And now she's fighting here September the 4th.
well, yeah, I think so. I mean, she did actually say, I think I read something on Twitter the other day saying she was dying for a rest because obviously she's bugging. I mean, look how busy she's been in the last few months.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, and all the travel on top of it. And it's not just the training; it's the travel, between here and the
All the
States.
media stuff.
You
And yeah.
and all the minute, but we're not making any excuses. That she lost that fight.
Yeah.
It's simple as that, and it's clearly she's being protected because she's so marketable over there now, right? Which is another point I'm going to get into. Are we going to get into this, or we're going to bring this up?
Listen, let's talk about it. Me personally, let me go ahead and say something and get it off my chest. I forgot in my post-fight video that's probably already then ended its premiere right now. But I don't like how during this event they promoted more of Ebony Bridges, especially on the promo material, posters and whatnot, than they did Katie Taylor, the undisputed co-feature that's happening tonight. I get it, the bikini stuff, we talked about it, off color humor yesterday in the weigh in, all that. But me personally, how much is this really translating into, ticket sales? How many people are going there to see that and not to open to public weigh-ins just to watch her, wear her bikinis? So are these people tuning in, like to watch her? Because I'm looking into the crowd and I'm like, they're cheering and everything, but it seems like they were doing other shit like drinking and singing lead songs or whatever. But what's your thought on her marketability? Because I've noticed that it seems as though numbers may be going down a little bit, maybe with all gimmicks. They get older after a while.
Yeah, well, that's right. I mean, I think it was always going to be like a flash in the pan sort of thing. And what angers me is that she did a video, or was it on TikTok or Twitter or whatever the hell it is, asking her, where does she prefer to fight and which fans does she like? And she flat out went, English fans, I prefer to fight in England. What about your Australian fans, the ones that gave you the start, And then she walks around the ring with a Australian flag with the lead symbol on it. You don't do that shit.
Yeah.
You don't go changing a national flag. You don't put anything on a national flag. That's an insult to me. I'm an former Australian soldier. You don't change the Australian flag just to get, what, 15,000 people a bit of a cheer?
Yeah.
You're an Australian. You're not English. If you want to live in England, go back, move there. I think she's forgetting where she's coming from, and that, a lot of Australian fans feel that she's been snubbing us for the Poms. Why?
Yeah,
She's Australian.
I'm wondering, if she is injured, the extent of the injury, how long is she going to be out? And with what she's been doing, I do admit that she does need to take a break. You know,
Oh, yeah, she's admitted that herself. Yeah, absolutely, she does.
but
She does need
now,
to take a break.
since you saw that, by the way, this Melis Gangloff fought a fighter by the name of Ellie Scottney and lost. Ellie Scottney fought her in what? I believe it was like, maybe her second, third, maybe even been her debut, I forgot. In fact, let me pull it up right now. Really quick, I got her box rec. Here is Molly's Gangloff 5-3 with 2 KOs now after losing to Ellie Scottney. She lost to Ellie Scottney in March of this year. Ellie Scottney, by the way, just called out Ebanie Bridges on Twitter. And by the way, I do have Ellie Scottney. I know enough, and I have watched her last 2 fights, or only 2 fights. She's 2-0 with 0 knockouts, but I believe she will be able to do a better job than a Gangloff. And she also fought Beck Connolly, who Ebanie Bridges knocked out in the last fight. Now, I don't see the fight happening. But now I'm wondering, will Matchroom go into the red zone with Ebanie Bridges regarding, okay, do you put her in a big fight now because you don't want her losing or fighting somebody like a Gangloff and losing to them? And do you go straight for, the big fight whenever she does come back against Shannon Courtenay again? Where do you think she should go? Continue her building path? And also, we don't know how long her contract is with Matchroom after this fight.
Or even if she has a contract, as I said,
Yeah.
it might be a fight-by-fight basis. The first thing she needs to do is obviously have a rest, because obviously she's broke her hand or injured her wrist or whatever that, and we want her a speedy recovery, but she needs to probably not do anything now until next year. So
I think so too. If they planned on having her in one of those, like whatever card they're going to have in December, yeah, I think she should, pack it in into the beginning of the year or so, depending on how long she's going to be injured.
yeah, exactly. Come home, have a break, rest, recuperate, then get back into it, because she does a lot of travel, and that takes a lot of toll on you.
Yeah, she's 34 years old.
Yeah, and she's not a young lady. She's not a spring chicken.
No.
So yeah, but I mean, yeah, she clearly lost that fight, and I mean, how much longer is she going to be around? Because all it's going to take is one more loss, and they'll be done with her.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. And people, as you said, people are destroying her on Twitter. I mean,
Yeah, it's starting. Yeah. I'm doing a little quick scroll right now.
Because she clearly lost that fight, and it's not Ebanie's fault. She didn't make the decision. So I encourage people not to go after Ebanie because she didn't make the decision. Go after people who made the decision. Simple as that. So I don't like it when people just attack boxers, because they're not the ones that ones that made the decision. So attack the ref because he made the decision.
Yeah. On to my final question to you. Do you think the potential injury played a part? Even though Ebanie clearly did lose some steam.
I think it did. But I don't think, because that French girl, you can clearly see that she outboxed Ebanie regardless. I mean, just like Shan Courtenay did.
Yeah.
Yes, Ebanie can fight. Yes, Ebanie can take a punch, but her boxing skills just aren't there. I mean, obviously she's only a novice, but the French girl's on the same level as Ebanie, and she completely outboxed her.
Yeah.
As I've said, Shannon Courtenay, Rachel Ball, certainly Shannon O'Connell, Susie Rounder got their hands on her. They'd destroy her. So, I mean, she's not a world-class boxer at the moment, and she's going to have to do so much work to get there. And she completely needs to change her style, because she's got that, walk up, take 10 punches, throw you a big shot.
Like you said, just to land that one like Jeff Horn. Yeah.
Well, like Joe Fraser. Joe used to do that.
Yeah.
Take 10 punches to throw that big left hook of his. So very similar. So, love to Joe. So, but she's gonna have to come home, take a rest, and just go from there. That's what I think. She shouldn't fight again until next year, and she probably won't because of the injury.
Yeah, I think so too. And also, I think that her next fight, you know, they probably already had it in the works, but I think because they've been talking it up since Ebony Bridges had beat Beck Connolly. Shannon Courtenay fights next month on the undercard of Liam Smith versus Anthony Fowler. I'm going to be covering that fight, and we're going to see what she has to say. Me and Big J are going to do a preview on that fight. And I think that that's the fight they should go right for when Ebony comes back, because you can't afford, and maybe this is just me thinking like a manager or promoter, you know, you can't afford for her to lose against Meili's Gangloff type of fighter. And with the marketability that she has, it's fragile. She takes a loss, you know, this is not male boxing. She takes a loss, you know, the build up is going to be steep. You know, she can't take another one right now unless it's against a big name fighter or at least for a title. So closing
Well,
thoughts?
um, you know, she clearly lost that fight. Speedy recovery. You know, hopefully she comes home soon, comes back to Australia, deals with that, goes back next year. But get ready for a bit of a social media storm against Ebony. But I encourage everyone, don't attack her.
Oh yeah, I
Attack
think
the
it's going to
people that
get
made the
worse
decision.
by the time we get to Monday.
Oh yeah, but you know, people, don't attack her. Attack the people who made the decision.
Yeah.
So yeah, on to the
All right.
next thing.
All right. Take your time out, like the video, subscribe, follow me on Twitter at TstreeT Controversy and Big J at Old Mate Big J. Also, our rankings are updated monthly in accordance with the sanctioning bodies, WBC, WBA, IBF, WBO, Ring Magazine, and sometime in the next few months, we're going to bring our women's rankings back to the fold. So take your time out, like the video, subscribe, and see you next time.